Next 24 hours in the crypto market is going to decide the fate of this bull run. If you don't understand what I'm talking about, just look at what you're watching. This is Bitcoin chart on a weekly, on a Heiken Ashi chart. Do you see a change in trend? And that's coming in after months of movement to the upside. Go back in history and see wherever you got such moves, how that ended. And it's not just the Heiken Ashi suggesting that, it is the RSI. Now say you don't trust Heiken Ashi charts, you can literally go back to this, which is Ranko charts. And Ranko charts right now shows you this. I mean, you really have to think about all the Bitcoin whales and the agenda in front of you. But what I would like to present most importantly in this video is about XRP. Look at XRP. XRP on a 24-hour window is going to be important as well. Why? The weekly XRP chart is trying to give you the first red candle. But now to understand this thing a little bit deeper, you kind of go into the XRP Bitcoin equation. XRP to Bitcoin shows you it did bounce off the long-term support. We talked about that extensively over a long time. But now watch the RSI. The RSI came back to the level which we haven't seen for a long period of time. So that's back in here, which means while you had this amount of strength in the past, close to that level, the prices comparison was here. So if you are about to compare XRP to Bitcoin, either Bitcoin has to drop dramatically or XRP has to go up dramatically while Bitcoin chops there. What do you think was about to happen? Yeah, it makes sense to compare the total altcoin market. It makes sense to look at the Bitcoin dominance and Bitcoin. Yeah, we're going to break that down here in the shortest time possible. Welcome to the Scientific Investor family, where the normal retail guys get to learn how to become the next top 10% of this world. In front of you, we just showed the Bitcoin towards XRP. So XRP priced in Bitcoin looks like this. And watch the volume. I mean, after this extensively long period of time, you're getting this amount of volume. I'm not saying XRP Bitcoin will come up here. Maybe it will, but let's look for the conservative range. Even in that case, XRP to Bitcoin needs to go up to 80%. That's a big ratio, because remember, the markets after pumping like that will generate a total ROI of what? 10x XRP against Bitcoin, which itself was going up in this cycle. Now price that in dollar. What would you do? Yeah, first you want to see whether Bitcoin is going up or down. If the history stays correct, we already know what Bitcoin is doing. We discussed about that in last 3-4 videos. Fine. How low should Bitcoin drop? Say you're a Bitcoin bull, long-term Bitcoin bull. You're saying, I really don't care about the drop. It may drop something like this, I'm fine. It may drop something like this, I'm fine. Which means you are literally arguing the 1, the 2, and the 3 is going to get supported somewhere around 75, and then there will be a bounce. But who knows that bounce is going to generate any big ROI? Because if it slows down, that's a macro change in Bitcoin price. That means Bitcoin can drop. How much? From the current price, if you plop Bitcoin to that low, Bitcoin can drop another 20%, which would be from the top like 30%. Fine. Now, how much should XRP drop in that case? It should drop less. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. If Bitcoin is going to get devalued against XRP and XRP is also going to correct a little bit, yeah, for sure, XRP should drop little. than Bitcoin. But when you come into the market cycle, you see, no, the chances are that it may consolidate longer than other choppy assets. Fine. But it's about Bitcoin and you're in a bull flag. So are we going to break this to the upside? As of now, you still don't have the clarity. One of the primary reasons is the 24-hour window, which is the weekly candle close. You wait for that. If you do get a inverted hammer here, most likely you're going to retest this. I would argue if you haven't taken any of your profits, if you didn't take scaling out attitude in XRP even after such a big pump, think about this. Now remember, at the local top, when I was doing the same, there was a lot of people who saw that I'm doing that and they were not happy that I was doing that. They were saying OGs are trying to kick new guys out. Now you know that was not the reality. If you did take profits around 2.6, 2.7, 2.8, you're one of those lucky guys who are buying at $2 or below. Yeah. So now you have what the market is showing you. Now, that's XRP against Bitcoin. If you take XRP against Ether, there's a little bit of change. And that's a massive shift. I mean, not a lot of people are looking at this or talking about this. But if you do understand XRP against Ether, now you understand the market is shifting. There is something going against Ether and in favor of XRP. XRP to Ether is here. I mean, that's a monthly chart. Either Ether is not going to do anything or Ether is about to drop dramatically and XRP holds the value. Now, that's the worst case scenario. The best case scenario, Ether runs up to 5,000, 6,000, 7,000 and XRP goes nuts to $10, $15. There's the only thing which you're watching here. Why? Your measured move is a 12x. I mean, that's not a small thing to look at. You're going back to the valuation in 2014, 2015. At the current price of Ether, for XRP to match that equation, either Ether has to come that low or XRP has to go that high. I don't know what's about to happen, but in both cases, for long-term XRP holders like us, that's okay. We are doing extremely fine. Now, come back to the total market. If that's what the payment assets are about to do with all the narrative shift, the regulatory changes, and America First agenda, that means US-based assets will survive and thrive. And if USDT is going to be kicked out from Europe, or at least that concern is being planted into the minds of people, what will happen? They may give 6 months, 12 months time for them to slowly comply for the regulations. But the trouble is, even though they have time to comply, they may not. Why would they? Yeah, they are 50 billion in 24-hour trading volume and Ether is 13, which means look at the next one. USDC is only 6 billion in liquidity for the entire crypto market, in which Bitcoin is 21. Ether is 13. You get the point? I mean, that's not going to work very well if it's a based project, European project in US, meaning USDT is kind of US because they have reserves in US treasuries, which kind of gives the clarity. If Europe is saying we don't want you buying US treasuries and Tether is saying no, I don't care, that means when America First goes in, US-based projects are going to go high. A lot of these European projects may migrate back into US, or at least they will attempt to. But while that's happening, you will see enormous amount of cash flow moving out, or at least not going in, and then reallocating that. So back to the matter, XRP to Ether shows XRP should run up dramatically or Ether should drop. Fine. Pick up Ether. Ask yourself, what do you see here? Do you see Ether dropping dramatically, or do you see XRP running up way bigger than that? This is your trend line. On a monthly, Ether is still going up. That's not bad. That's not bad. Now we go into a weekly chart, and it shows Ether slowing a bit down. Yeah, because you have two factors. One, yeah, the momentum shifted. Two, you came back to the same top, but the RSI did not. It was dropping. So that's a negative divergence, and it's follow through. So yes, you can change this into a new trend, bounce back higher. That is possible. But in that case, what's happening? The micro 1, 2, 3 is getting smaller. I don't like that for Ether. If you own Ether as a long-term investor, you should also be like me. Because on the other side, it says, yeah, Ether may go to 6,000, 7,000, but XRP is about to go parabolic. That's what the comparison showed. It's not just against Ether, it's not just against Bitcoin, but also the dollar. So that means in general, the sentiment for XRP is shifting. So primarily, you go look at XRP itself. Pick up the monthly XRP chart. This is the history all the way from 2013. Look at the volume. The surge in volume showed you something back here. The surge in volume was arguing, yeah, we did pump, but that was not the top. You had more coming. This is what's happening here. Yes, you got the volume surge. You entered the overbought territory, which doesn't mean it's going down, which clearly means you have very little seller here. Everyone else is buying. Fine. Now, at one point, the price will go up like this, and the RSI will not accept that or go against it. Yeah, at that time, that's the top. Get them out of the market. That's okay. Now, that's a monthly. For XRP, it's not there. Now, take Bitcoin and ask the question. You still have 2 more days in this month, which is good, which is cool. I'm okay with it. Now look at the trend line, which you can actually plot in long-term resistance. You're almost there. I'm like, whoa, that's a monthly chart resistance. That's crazy. I mean, honestly, that's crazy. Because if I look at CoinMarketCap data, it's showing me this here, yeah? Now, if I actually go into the trading view, you need to look at this. The momentum is shifting on the Ranko on a daily. Now, if you pick the 3-day, it's showing I'm slowing down. The momentum is shifting. Now, if I pick the normal candlesticks, the Japanese candlesticks, and I go into the weekly, I already have a negative divergence. Now, yes, I put the monthly, it's still showing me I'm trying to form a negative divergence. So these two APIs, there's a difference, but who knows which one is correct? No one knows. Now, you look at both and then you go to the weekly asking like, okay, is there a confirmation till the weekly? Monthly can be formed afterwards. This was the initial argument. Yeah, Bitcoin can come down if you are a Bitcoin extremist. What you would argue is that even if it actually drops a bit, it does not matter. Fine. That means you also accept that it can come down close to 75, 70, and then come back. Maybe that's the time where you get the monthly. Maybe, as TradingView shows you, you are already working on one. In next 2 days, you're going to get the clarity about that too. So if you listen till this point and you understand the factors explained in this video and you haven't smashed that like button, consider doing that for me. I mean, it helps the channel. Now, while you go in, also look for an hourly to see the momentum. If you are emotional based on a daily fluctuation, this would help you. Yeah. Because when you go on a 3-day, it shows you, no, I'm going down. When you go on a daily, it shows you I'm slowing down. And it's also showing there is a negative divergence. Yeah. And that's where it gets all messy. And that's one of the primary reasons why in the Scientific Investor family, we're going through assets by assets by asset. List of assets you ask, I drop it there. There are few with negative divergence. I've already posted a lot and I'm trying to find others with negative divergence so that you know In 10 assets in your portfolio, maybe there is 2 with negative divergence, maybe there is 8. If you do have more than 35% having negative divergence, it's time for you to think correctly. If the market slows down, they may drop, and they may drop parabolically. If you remember AVAX, you already understand what I'm talking about. I'm not saying it's going to die as a project. What I'm arguing is that the market had showed you this before and it worked out very well. What? The price reached the same range, but the RSI didn't. What happened afterwards? You know the results. Now, it doesn't mean that project is dead. It still went up massively. Yeah? So if you're an extreme hodler, fine, don't matter about 60-70% drop. It's cool for you. Because remember, it's not once. The next time the same asset showed you this, we called out the negative divergence. Go back in March, April 2024, and you'll see the charts on Patreon calling negative divergence. Now, what happened after that? 70% drop again. So the assets with negative divergence, maybe I'm wrong, but I don't trust that I'm wrong. Right now, I'll say charts look right. I'll follow the charts. I'm not smarter than the history. I'm not smarter than the charts. So we'll stay back, keep our ego low and say, I'll try to follow the market. That's extremely hard because discipline is difficult. But in the Scientific Investor family, you get to follow all of those. And if you want that, use the link in the description below. Jump in, make sure you know which asset is a red flag and which asset still has a long way to go. I'll meet you guys in the next video. Bye for now.